My dirty coffee cup. We're getting warmed up this morning. I came out here yesterday morning planning to frame up this generator shed roof. I have my 10 footers and my 8 footers all ready. My straight edge is cut, and I just thought of a whole new idea. So my plan was just to do a 10 by 8 roof on here. And then I was looking at these trees right here, and I just started feeling a little more creative. As you can see, now we have a couple 16 footers over here. Because yesterday I went nuts and I cut down another tree and started milling boards for my new idea. Cut this pine tree right here, laid it down and started milling. I did 3 logs, 3 face cuts, and then I milled that part that's missing, which is over by the generator shed now. We went from my 8 by 10 idea to we're gonna start out with 16s, see how it goes. I haven't done a whole lot of measurements. I'm thinking the 16 should be long enough. That's about how long I can mill them anyway. But I think we're gonna incorporate these 2 trees right here into our roof. I'm pretty much gonna be winging it. I'm just gonna start with 1 board this morning. I'm just gonna put 1 board up, see how far out it goes. It should go past this tree here. We're just gonna start framing this morning, or at least we're gonna start hanging that first board just to get an idea of how this is gonna go. And then we'll probably add the other one to this side. So we're gonna start with the 2 boards up there, I believe, and then we're just gonna start framing off of that, get creative. And probably be milling more boards as we go, mostly building. Oh, that feels amazing. Let's grab us a 16 footer. I still got a lot of cleaning up to do over here. See, this board is going to go inside of the tree. Alright, adjust this as we go. We're going to be playing with it, being one man. Alright, we got that there. Something like that. Now we want to make our other one match. Does that look like a roof? This is going to be a little crazy. So we got our pitch here over the generator shed, but I was thinking to come on out past these trees. Looks like that one's past that tree. So I was thinking about actually incorporating these two trees into the roof and probably cutting these trees off and just using them as supports for the roof. They'll be pretty and decorative. We're gonna kind of start building off of this idea. Yeah, we got a lot to figure out. I also want to go in here and clean a bunch of this stuff up as I'm going. So this is gonna be a pretty wild build here, as you can see. Alright, that's the first two boards. Definitely gonna have to play with this, adjust as we're building. We're gonna have to adjust it to keep the roof level as much as possible. So then, not only are we gonna have a generator shed to work on them and to run them, I was thinking I could also turn this part into the shed also, where you have a covered rain shelter, an area to work on generators, maybe other small motors. I figure we're gonna turn this into a legit generator shed. And this board, it is out past that tree. So the roof is barely gonna pass that tree. That tree is gonna be more inside, but we're gonna try to keep the roof as square as possible. Build a square roof with the post here kind of offset. But this is gonna be pretty cool. A lot of work, but it's gonna be pretty cool. Let's get it in. Then we have our two back hang-offs, about 2 foot. So we're gonna kind of frame off the back of these. We're gonna use these two as our main supports to start framing around it, because I want hangouts all the way around this, possibly about 2 foot. Alright, that's a start. Here's the back. So you can see that these rafters up here, they're just inside rafters. We're gonna come out 2 foot and have a rafter 2 foot out on both sides. So we're gonna have our 2 foot hangover. We have our 2 foot hangover in the back. That's our 2 foot line there. So it's actually, you know, I made a mark going from the back of the foundation just to give me a square mark. We're trying to make this square, so it's 2 foot from that line out. Here we go. We got a temporary brace here. That's going to temporarily hold the boards up. That way, once we start framing the front, we'll have this to hold them up temporarily. Dang right. I'm going to add a couple more screws for some extra support here. Oh, we got those in the pocket. So the reason I'm using a support like this to hold the front up is I have a lot to play with here to square this up. I want a square roof. Right now, I can't really square up the front. The only thing I can square up and work with is the back. I'm gonna be working off the back. I'm gonna permanently attach my boards that are gonna be hanging out on the edges. I'm gonna permanently attach those. I'm gonna screw them in here, and they're just gonna be sitting up on the support. That way, as they're just sitting up there, this brace is supporting them. Once I get them up there, I can come to the front here, and that's when I start doing my cuts and squaring up the front to figure out where I need it. That way I can put my front board up, attach those to all the rafters. Then we're gonna figure out how we're gonna mount them to the trees, and then remove that brace, and it'll be up there. Now I gotta mill 3 more 16 footers. Because I was actually planning on building this with 10 footers and 8 footers. Totally changed the whole idea of the whole roof. So we need 3 more 16 footers. We need these trees right here, tops. We need these things gone. So, I think that is the next step to get rid of these trees here, which is gonna be a little sketch because we're gonna be doing it on a ladder. Like everybody knows, ladders and chainsaws do not mix. So we gotta get rid of these tops. And did you notice that? We're gonna have a birdhouse in our shop. In our generator shed. We're gonna have a cool little birdhouse. we got a hanger. That's all right. That worked out pretty good. We left it a little high. That way, depending on where we mount the roof, we can trim right above it. So now we got to get rid of this one. We pretty much milled that whole tree. Those 2 logs we had are completely gone. We just did a cut over here. Got that 16-foot laying there. Looks like we can get one more out of this log. One more 16-footer. Probably gonna need it. So we gotta drag this one over here, do a straight cut on it. And we should pretty much have enough to at least have our whole roof frame together. We got 1 with a straight edge, 2 with a straight edge, 3 with a straight edge. Then we're about to have number 4 coming. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the back here is going to be about 12 foot. So we have this 13-footer here. Could use this for the front board. It's going to go all the way across to all 6 of them, because we're about to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll have that board going across, connecting all 6. Anyway, let's get to more action. just to get it started. I'm gonna use this in here, make sure we got our square corner. We're gonna put a screw up in the front just to hold that where it's at, as close to possible a square. That way we can attach the end of our board up front here all the way out to these other ones, but we're also gonna have to work off that front there. Now that it's close, real close to square, we're gonna use that board there. I guess we're just gonna chalk us a line across the top of these and get us a square mark so we know where to cut the fronts, and put our face board up there to hold it all together. Now that we have our lines marked on the tops where we want these all cut, as you can see, they're pretty straight right by this tree here, marking the tops. So now we're gonna use our level. We want these cuts here perfectly level like that. We want our bubble level. We want these cut straight up and down. Might actually do that one with a chainsaw, so I don't have to loosen up them screws. I could easily cut that with a chainsaw. This one here. Go. Got that one. All right. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put 2 in that one. need to lift this front board up, which is gonna move this whole side right here. If I were to take this screw out and then them 2 screws out, I only have 1 screw in here holding it. That's a little sketch because these screws break. So instead of relying on that screw, we're gonna throw some nail in here. We know that nail is not gonna break. Now we gotta take this screw out so this board will go up and down. If I left this screw in here, it wouldn't move. So I'm taking that out. We're relying on this 1 nail as a hinge to let the front of our roof pick up. Dang right. And we gotta take these screws out also. Now this whole thing will shift. Got this nail here to hinge on so we can lift our whole front up to attach it to them other boards. Dang right. Here we go. Whew. Oh yeah. Matches up nice with this tree. Go ahead and still gotta level this. Need my level. Throw another screw in here. Alright, now I need to get down and bring my level up here, and we're going to level the front of this roof. Dang right. The back is pretty close to level. It could come up some. I guess I could lift this side up some once I loosen it up. That's one with only 1 nail holding this whole side. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna remove this top screw, throw a nail in there, remove this one, remove those, and then we're gonna start playing with the levelness of the front. There we go. We got 1 nail here, 1 nail on that side, holding up this whole back part, which is hinged so we can move the front up and down. That's why we put up our temporary support up here to hold the front up. The front is literally not attached to anything. It's just resting on this support here. So now is when we're going to level the front and actually start attaching it, especially to that one tree there. That's our main support. There is that tree. Once we attach it to that tree and it's all level in the front, level in the back as much as we can get it, we're gonna put more nails in these, and then the whole roof will be supported in, you know, quite a 4-5 spots. Then we'll start adding some pieces in between here to actually go in between, support these rafters together, and attach it to the tree in a couple different spots here. Don't want to come down, does it? I kind of wish I'd have put this brace in the front, because I think I might put it back up in the front. There we go. Our roof is up here. So we got our roof locked in here around this tree. I just added these two boards that are attached to the sides, and I got nails going into the tree to support this side of the roof over here. And then I added one here to box in this tree. So that roof is hanging on to that. That's pretty much what's supporting the front. What's up, High Saint? That's why I was saying I wish I'd have put that brace in the front, and then I could have just left it up there and trimmed it. So I think I'm gonna bring that board, put it in the front, and when I decide to do a wall, that'll be the top of my wall, and then we'll figure out how we're gonna support the bottom. I don't even know how I'm gonna do the walls yet. We're just winging it. But we have a huge floating roof. I know it looks kind of bad with some of the angles, but that's just how I started building the little shed, and then I built off of that with a whole new idea. So once we get some roof boards up here, it's gonna look a whole lot nicer. Here's the back of our huge roof. I still need to trim these trees that are sticking up so they're flush with the roof. That way, that'll actually be support once we start putting our roof boards going across. This thing will be real sturdy, and it's gonna look very nice. I'm not too sure about the back here. This is where the generators are gonna be blowing the exhaust out. I'm picturing this whole side a wall. Like I said, I'm not real sure exactly what I'm gonna do with the back yet, but a wall all the way across here. This whole side's gonna be closed off. Then I would like that side wall to come up, connect to the front wall here. The front wall is probably gonna go a little past this tree, but the wall is going to come straight out like this, straight in like this, and this tree is just going to be in there unattached to anything. It's just going to be a tree inside sticking up. We'll decide what to do with that later. Then this wall is going to come out a little past the foundation here, a little past it. And then, I don't know, eventually it's gonna be open for now, just where you can walk in and out and work. We'll have, 3 walls to protect everything from the weather. Then we'll just have an open entrance and exit for now, until eventually we might end up building a door. And then we gotta work out the back. But that's my plan for now, is just cover the roof, do a couple walls just to keep the weather out, keep it dry. This is what we got so far. We got a huge 12 by, it's about 12 and a half, 12.6 by close to 16. It's a pretty big freaking floating roof there. And that's about all I got for this video. We got the freaking roof framed up. It's looking freaking cool. Now I have a ton of milling to do because I need a lot of boards. It's gonna take quite a bit of wood to cover. I'm planning on doing wood, cover the top with wood, and then add metal eventually when I can get it. So I'm just gonna get back to milling. I gotta drop a big poplar tree. That's what I like to use for the roof boards and walls. It's easy wood to mill. It's pretty soft and it's good once it dries. It's great for a roof covering and walls and stuff like that. So that's what I got to do next for this thing. I got to mill a bunch of boards and start covering this thing up, amongst other things we're going to be doing. But I'm pretty happy that we at least got the roof framed.